We welcome those of you that are watching basketball on FS1. Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman here at Cal in a bizarre setting for us to do a late night after dark game on Championship Saturday. It'll be the first series now for California. USC had 4 first downs and our drive stalled with a missed field goal. Your thoughts about this crazy time that we're in with these players that are auditioning for their future?
Well, it's been an unprecedented year to be sure, but again, these kids are resilient. They've had enough circumstances that have shaped them. We've seen the early go with Jackson Dart, the quarterback for USC, throwing the ball effectively, on target, as we had on this particular play here, Tim. They're playing. These kids are working through it.
That's Trayvon Clark on the receiving end from Chase Garbers, the veteran. And Garbers, by the way, is a young man that is a redshirt senior with options. If he wants to come back for another season, Brooks, nothing doing up front.
I'll tell you what, those Trojans populating the line of scrimmage, Tim, on that play. And it's just really outstanding to watch them step up to the plate here. We've got a great defensive coordinator, got a great philosophy, a great scheme, but the want to is something that they've got to bring themselves.
Todd Orlando being that DC who was, well, you talk about an incredible soap opera for him. He was at Texas in Tom Herman's last year, then comes to USC, loses his head coach after week 2. Brooks takes it down to the 30, inside the 30 to the 29. In 1975, the fall after Steve Bartkowski was the #1 overall pick in the NFL draft, Joe Roth became the Cal starter in the 4th game this season. He led them to a Pac-8 co-championship, despite knowing he was dying from melanoma. He was an All-American in '76, finished 9th in the Heisman voting. And this game and these uniforms are in honor of him. Nico Remigio.
4 wide, Tim.
Yep, and he is a go-to guy, number 4 in blue.
Now they're going to roll to a cover 2 to try to deal with this 4 wide concept.
Garbers out of the gun.
Nice job.
Great recognition of that pass to Colin Moore. Superb play by Bullock. Kalen Bullock, 27, who's forced to play corner tonight. No Chris Steele for USC.
Bullock did a wonderful job of recognizing. Todd Orlando, defensive coordinator, rolled from a single high safety look, which gave you the indication they were prepared for the run. But by rolling back and then having that rotating corner come fly up, it just shows awareness. Guys able to adjust in real time as you look at Coach Wilcox.
They're going for it here on 4th and 2. Remigio, number 4, is in the slot to the right at the top of your screen.
Oh, nice butt up. Wow, nice.
And there it is to Clark. It's a first down. Shoved out by Prophet Brown, number 16, a freshman that's in there for Steele and also spelling Bullock, 27.
Unsung hero, 34, Christopher Brooks. Watch him step up in there, boom, and nail him. Gives you the time you need to get that ball out. Nice outside route run versus man coverage. Excellent pitch and catch, but all made possible by the protection.
Now you got to feel like Garbers really wants to work on these freshman corners for USC. Brooks trying to set sail. An outstanding shoestring tackle at the point of attack made by Thompson, number 30, the strong safety. Cal was 8 of 28, 29% on 4th down for the year before converting that 4th and 2. And here they are now with 2nd down and 8. Their opening possession of the game.
Tight trips formation. Let's see how USC handles this. You got 485 and 80 up at the top of your screen. That can be a wicked, nasty formation to deal with unless you rotate the coverage over.
Jeremiah Hunter is checked into the game for Cal. There's Brooks again, right up the gut. USC there to plug the hole beautifully right there in the middle.
Well, this is what Coach Wilcox told he wants to do. I mean, he wants to find out quickly, early, how physical. What's the mindset of this USC Trojan team, the defense in particular, because on special teams and defense, you can find out quickly where the head and the heart of a team is, and the only way you do that is to run the football at them. So much change going on in their lives. You wonder how many guys are making business decisions. You find it out quickly.
Flush from the pocket, Garbers. Look at him go. Flag down behind him as he's down inside the 6. Goforth, number 10, with a tackle, but the flag thrown in the backfield in an area where you'd expect holding. Our referee, Matthew Richards.
Holding. Offense number 63. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 3rd down.
Braden Rome, the redshirt sophomore out of Chandler, Arizona, trying to protect that edge on the left side at tackle the guilty party.
There's 63 in that wide kick stance. He's outside working on an island. He gets help from the tight end and just rides him in. A lot of times when a guy's slipping and falling, just let him down. We used to mount him back in the old days when you let him fall and the officials would let you go. But today you can't even touch him, it seems like it.
3rd down, 17. Garbers hasn't missed yet. 4 for 4. Remigio coming out of the backfield this time. They'll put him everywhere. He's got great speed. He's inside the 10. It ought to be a 1st down. He is, as you like to say, Spencer, hell-bent for election tonight. He knows he's got a future, this kid.
Well, I thought Nick Figueroa had a chance to stop him, but again, the formation trips to the field and to swing him out there. Now you've got a convoy of 3. We call them pencil necks, but let me tell you, they did a wonderful job, did the receivers, in blocking for their running back on that particular play. Outstanding call, outstanding constructed play.
Bill Musgrave, the one-time Oregon quarterback, long-time NFL assistant. You played for him at the 49ers.
Yep,
calls him a Percy Harvin type, and he coached Harvin with the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that option toss a little high, and Remigio will ask his quarterback to please be nicer to him next time.
Yeah, it may have looked nasty, Timmy, but let me tell you something. If you want to sell the option route, the way you sell it is to wait as long as possible. Now, it could have the execution, much to be desired.
Oops.
But that's how you give it up. I had visions of Jamel Holloway in my head going on that play right there, man. That's how you play the option.
Chris Thompson made the tackle, but I'm sure Garbers will hear about that one. He's probably thrown some slant patterns that were as difficult for Remigio to bring in without being tagged like that. 2nd and goal. Brooks, nothing doing. 2-yard gain. So you say you want to run the option, huh?
You got to have courage. First thing, you read that defensive end come downhill. Oh, you better keep your head on the swivel, big fella. And listen, I'll tell you what, this guy is willing to stick his neck in there, and he's got courage, Tim. And here's another thing I noticed, and watching tape in him in this weekend than last year, he's got better foot speed than
he does.
Most people would imagine.
Well, he's big. He's 6'2", probably around 235. They list him at 25, but he's bigger than that. Can beat you with his legs as much as an arm. Flushed from the pocket. He has options, and he'll just throw it away. Live to fight another day. Trojans had that one well covered.
Had a nice little 3-man route on the opposite side, the wide side of the field. Nothing there. Great job of coverage by Todd Orlando. And he surveys the option there. It's done. It's covered up nicely. Inside man, no route to go. So he comes back the other direction. Wonderful job of throwing that away. Head in the game. Smart decision.
Dario Longetto will come in for a field goal try of 26 yards. 10 of 13 on the year. His longest is 51. Jamison Sheehan, the holder. Everyone playing quickly, it seems. Oh, he just shoved it to the right. We got a marker down, though. Flag is down. They were on the right hash. He needed that one to hook a little or draw for him. It did not. Here comes the call.
Offside. Defense in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
Coach Williams not
someone lined up offside. I would say it's on the edge right there. Yep. In that neutral zone. 27 was guilty for USC. That's Bullock. Right off the edge. Good call. And another opportunity now for Longetto. That's you know what? I don't know that I would have taken the 5 yards. This is a tough angle from 22. It is. You got to get that thing up and drawing very quickly. Just inside the upright. So the second time Wilcox's kicker gets it through. Baird. A little frisky here. Bullock off the edge. And a little conversation with the coach on the other side once he got back to the sideline.
Yeah, but it's a conversation, and that's his style right there. He's motivating, he's encouraging, creating a zero-sum proposition, but the smile on his face Dante Williams, a great motivator, excellent recruiter. Not shocked at all if he finds a way to be on this staff in some capacity.
I think that's going to be the #1 question after this game to him. Be curious as to whether there's been a conversation. When we met earlier in the week, there had not been with Lincoln Riley about his future. Certainly saw him at practice.
Yeah, and
That return is out to the 17-yard line by Taj Washington. When we come back, the Trojans will have it for the second time, trailing by 3. (3-0) our score. You're looking at Dante Williams. Prior to the kick, he got some love from his assistants. This is the end of his interim reign. What a week it has been. All these guys have just poured all of their emotions into it since taking over after week 2. And Spencer, you and I were on hand for that game against Stanford. By the time we got home, Clay Helton was done. Brandon Campbell, 25, is in the backfield. Dart with a little wide receiver screen to Michael Jackson. Very quick up the sideline for a first down. Marquez Bimmage, the Texas transfer, runs him out.
Now Daniel Scott, 32, had a shot at him, Tim, but he just absolutely missed him. You see, he comes in open fields, got the sideline as his friend as they go pace and tempo. Once again, defensive effort just came up a little bit short.
I think these guys are in a hurry to finish the season. Campbell again gets up almost to the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, maybe 5.5. Bimmage with the stop again.
And I think the more positive thing to say is, look, if you're going fast, that means you're engaged. You can't do this and not be aware of what's happening. Constant communication by the 12th man on the sideline, calling the plays. You know, it's part of what they do. You cannot do this and not be engaged.
Yet another freshman, Campbell, in the backfield. No Keontae Ingram again tonight. A second straight week without him, the Texas transfer. Campbell gets ahead for 3. He'll be 2 yards shy of the first down. Cameron Good with the stop. He's an outstanding tackler. Has 41, 25 solos, and 7 for losses this year. In trouble is Campbell. Oladejo with the tackle. Number 43, freshman from Elk Grove, California.
He's balling. Watch him here, Timmy. You know, showing you an inability to come and then avoid. The guard tries to reach him, can't do it. The speed and quickness, more important than size and strength. You get a hybrid guy in there like that who's got the speed and got the force. And when he puts those two things together, it's a physics lesson coming at you, man. It is so tough to avoid a guy like that.
Speaking of hybrids, Nico Remigio is awaiting this punt.
Big return last week. He's got some skills, man.
Ben Griffiths, yeah, he took the opening kick 58 yards a week ago. This time a fair catch on the punt. 42-yard boot, no return. And the Golden Bears will have it at their 21-yard line. Huge play by Femi Oladejo. Titans, back in the day, joined them right after the 99 team made it to the Super Bowl. He was some defensive linebacker in the old 46 that Coach Jeff Fisher of USC fame had with the Tennessee Titans. Garbers is in trouble. And that'll be a sack for the Trojans. That's Corey Foreman coming through there, the freshman from Corona, California. And we've come to the end of the first quarter. Couple of long, quick drives. After a bit of a disjointed start, we just have to adjust and adapt. It's sort of like the college football season. Everyone's adjusting and adapting. Oy vey. 3-0 our score. You see Dante Williams, his last game as interim head coach. This carousel fittingly began with USC finding their man because they started this all firing Helton after 2 weeks after the Stanford game. Aranda and Matt Campbell were the leading horses, it seemed, for the job, but ultimately that looks like Traveler that Lincoln Riley is on. Named USC's head coach on November the 28th. And interestingly, Spencer, Mike Bone, who came from Cincinnati, had a young whisperer on his staff, Brandon Sosna.
Oh,
They
brilliant.
actually identified Lincoln Riley way back in 2014 while at Cincinnati. Lincoln was the offensive coordinator at East Carolina at that time. Christopher Brooks has a first down and more. Giuliano Falamico, number 41, making the stop from Pago.
Falamico, watch him come upfield on this particular play. Excellent job up front blocking, but being able to come inside out, he flashes and just does a job of finishing. That shows you he's active, man. This guy's so violent. Flies around, kind of reminds me of Troy Polamalu back in the day.
Brooks remains the setback out of the shotgun. Keikoa Crawford, number 11, is a go-to receiver that they identify often. He's down at the bottom of your screen, number 11. They go the other way to Colin Moore, 16. And he's got a nice gain on first. That's Isaac Taylor Stewart with the tackle.
Keikoa Crawford's got to be careful. You know, you got to have your eyes up. You can't run into your teammates out there trying to block for you on the perimeter and the edge. And again, you got an advantage if you're split wide. Fewer bodies to have to navigate. Got to use instincts and avoid the opposite jersey color.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Keikoa now goes in the slot to the top of your screen.
4 wide, single back. Definitely a passing formation unless they're going to run against this 3-man front now.
USC showing blitz.
Yeah, they're coming to pass.
Here it comes from the corner. Safety blitz. Garber's in trouble. And Wisely gets out of bounds. He may have gotten a yard or maybe lost a yard. Stepping out of bounds at the 39-yard line, so a loss of a yard on the play. Third down.
Beautiful defensive effort by Todd Orlando, the defensive coordinator, by waiting to the latest moment possible to roll his coverage and create a confused look for Garbers. He had to try to make sense of it on the run, and it was too difficult for him to do that in real time.
3rd down and 6. Jeremiah Hunter has checked into the game for Cal. Look at Todd Orlando. Remigio up at the top of your screen.
Late movement again, trying to confuse the coverage.
Look out, Garbers.
That's a good job.
This is where he's really tough, but he can't get there. Good closing speed from USC that time. That was Goforth, number 10, that was really putting on the Jets, the youngster out of St. John Bosco in Long Beach.
And Raylan Goforth is a rover, and that's the reason why he's so active. They'll move him about in the middle of the interior part of the field for those moments. Great job, first of all, of confusing for the 2nd play in a row, the coverage on the back end. That's what flushes the quarterback out, combined with the rush up front. Rush and coverage working in tandem to produce a negative play.
Jamison Sheehan to punt it away. The Australian punter.
Low line.
Yep. Takes it off the bounce. That was dangerous by Jackson. And the Cal defense and special teams were right there on it to make the play. J. Michael Sturdivant with the tackle. USC and Cal closing out the regular season. Only Army-Navy will be left. This is an entirely different roster now, and if you look down along the sidelines from our vantage point, so many scratches for USC. I bet they barely have 60 guys available tonight.
I count them. There's like 64.
Yeah. Malapai sets sail for a first down and more. Elijah Hicks, who's got a tremendous future after tonight. This truly is his last game, number 3 for California with a stop.
He plays really exceptionally well on the back end, does Elijah Hicks, but here is the speed, and we saw the patience early on the previous 2 plays. Vi does a wonderful job of combining his speed. Trips formation, Timmy.
First down, bubble screen. And that is Manjack. And he's handled, and speaking of Elijah, there he is again making the stop.
Well, here's the run and the strength and the vision. You see his eyes looking upfield, inside, seeing where the pressure is coming from, trying to get everything he possibly can. By showing you he's a viable candidate back there in the backfield, man. He's exceptional.
2nd down and 6. Jackson Dart. Really talented young man. in some trouble here. But again, he really doesn't need to step into it. He's got such a cannon for an arm. Kyle Ford with the catch, and again, Elijah Hicks with the stop, and we've got a flag down.
No matter what the flag is, that was impressive. Josh Drayton made him change his platform, and he still got the ball off.
He has got some arm.
Ineligible player downfield. Offense number 70. 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
I know, we were talking about the hiring of Lincoln Riley. It didn't take long for his recruiting acumen to come into play.
Jalen McKenzie's who they're talking about, number 70 out there, Tim. Clayton Valley, redshirt senior.
Starting in place of Monheim at the right tackle spot.
They've had a lot of folks in there. Bijan Benton was up there for a while.
Barlow the setback on 2nd and 11. It's like we got a little false start action, or maybe too much time.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
I was about to talk about the loss of recruiting acumen. You talk about Dante Williams, that's supposedly his strength. Lincoln Riley got Riley Brown right away, the 5-star running back from Mater Dei in Santa Ana that was coming to Oklahoma to flip. Malachi Nelson out of Los Alamitos, just a junior. He has another year before he becomes eligible. He's already set to come to USC. Beckett knocks that one down. Old Man River making the play for California.
Well, I love Cool Hand Luke, and that's why they call him Cool Hand Luke, because if I can't get to the quarterback, I'm going to get this hand up and make an impact. Watch, he's in game with a great pressure, bull rush, and then watch him time it up. Whoop, got that left mid up in the air. Old J.J. Watt style right there. I love it, big fella.
Out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Much traveled and might be back for a 7th season.
Good duck hunting up in that part.
I know a lot of guys who went to college for 7 years. Darts pass is incomplete.
A lot of contact.
He was wrapped up there. Manjack Lamagier Hearns had him wrapped up. I mean, that was a little do-se-do soiree that number 15 had on number 14, and it draws a penalty.
Look at the freshman.
Defense number 15. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
You're right. They had a little Texas two-step going there, man.
Yeah, we could call that one from up here.
Yeah, it's so intimidating. A lot of times you're playing man coverage against the athletes. Short number tonight, but they still can stress you.
Roman Holt, the tight end, was in motion. And they look towards the right-hand side. It's caught. Kyle Ford. He will take it for the touchdown. Time for a tribute to Troy. You'll hear that tonight.
Well, Tim, if you're going to guess, you better guess right. Squat and dog read on the outside of the edge, and we've seen this today. If you're going to drive on the ball, you better make sure that it's in your gun sights, and if you're playing man coverage, you got to guess right.
You know, I get those mixed up all the time. It may be fight on as opposed to a tribute to Troy. I know this. They play it a lot at USC games. It's late. Parker Lewis with the extra point to make it 7-3. Ford's second touchdown reception, number 9 for Jackson, who throws darts and does so in the Bay Area too. Seven to 3, and it's time to meet the man with the golden locks, Jackson Dart. By the way, an incredible baseball player, twice All-State. He hit .468 as a freshman. His dad was a safety at Utah.
Yep.
And, I mean, an incredible talent, this young man.
I like his confidence, man.
I do too.
He's got a big arm, we know that. But this game, and particularly playing for Lincoln Riley potentially, is about the head. Got to be smart.
Well, you know Lincoln's going to bring in those big names. He always does. I think he wants to send a message that he is up to the competition, whoever they bring in. And, of course, he's been rolling 7s and 11s, Lincoln Riley at quarterback, for a long time.
Pro one for the pro one.
Baker and Kyler and Jalen. And, Spencer Rattler. That didn't work, but Caleb did.
Yep, back-to-back Heisman Trophy winners in that group.
Yeah.
And if you want to include finalists, Jalen would make it a third.
That would help you attract a lot of attention and a lot of dollars.
A lot of skill position
and,
players.
And a private jet plane, Spencer T.
Yes.
Marcel Dancy's in the backfield to go with a wide receiver screen. Out to Keikoa Crawford, and he is stopped after a 3-yard pickup. 2nd down and 7.
Alamau, wonderful job of reacting to that, Timmy, and shutting that down. 26.
By the way, did you notice how quickly I corrected myself on fight on versus tribute to Troy?
You reeled that back in quick as a hiccup.
I reeled it in as fast as I could.
It was professional.
Well, this late at night, you know the hardcores are going to nail you if you don't correct yourself. Absolutely. 2nd down and 7 for Chase Garbers. He throws the deep ball, Spencer, probably better than he does the intermediate route. We haven't seen any long passes yet. There's Keikoa Crawford ahead to the 30, maybe about a yard shy, maybe less of a 1st down. Polamalu again with the tackle.
Nice sight adjustment by the quarterback and receiver on that. You look at the career numbers there.
Yards per play for California, just under 5, and USC with a couple of big plays in the passing game. A little more than 7.
You can get 5 on 1st down. You can control most games, and if you got any semblance of balance, you're going to have a shot.
3rd down, a yard to go. Tungus 85, the tight end is in the slot. And a spin, baby, spin from Dancy. He can dance. He's got it to the 45. Polamalu with the tackle after a gain of 15.
I thought Chris Thompson was going to be actually out of the game, Tim, but, I thought he stepped up in there, tried to make a play to number 30, and he spun right out of it. Wonderful job of keeping his feet, showing you instincts there, and then protecting the ball on the back half of it. Polamalu finishing it off. Again, that's a big-time move right there.
Oh, that is a classic Spencer Tillman Sooner spin.
Oh, the number wasn't just the same, was it? Athletic ability there. I like that.
That was your number with the 49ers.
Yeah, sure
number
was.
23, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
1st and 10 from the 44. They spot it. Bootleg action. And the pass is caught. Past the 45. They'll spot it at the 47 to Keikoa Crawford.
That's a big throw, man, across the field. Again, a lot of man coverage by this USC back end. And Todd Orlando trusting his guys on the back end. But watch this closing here. The setup, Gabbers does a wonderful job of releasing this ball and placing it where it needs to be between the sideline and the breastplate of his receiver.
Getting close, aren't they, to taking a shot, you think?
I think they are, but not against this cover 2 look here. This is a shell. Maybe in the seams there's some opportunity here along the hash mark.
He's 9 of 10 now.
You got it now.
Yep, look out. There it is. He's got Jake Tungus. He's got it inside the 15. It may not have been planned to be a shot, but it was worth taking.
Well, it's about creating those opportunities and extending the play. You got to step up because that rush, it was late pressure coming off the edge. He does a wonderful job of keeping his head downfield and seeing where he wants to go. He actually had a smile on his face, the up and the go by the tight end. Wonderful job of communicating, keeping the play alive and extending it by Gabbers.
Dancy remains the setback. 39 yards, that hookup. Curl, caught. It's Keikoa Crawford inside the 5.
Just zone coverage, and again, that's like stealing. If you drop back in zone, he's going to a spot. And with the accuracy he's demonstrated tonight, Gabbers is going to hit that every single time. Todd usually mixes it up a lot, but on that play, it's just all zone coverage. Look, watch the zone coverage develop in real time. Those guys are going to run to a spot, vacate it. Not going to take out myself and cover myself. I'm going to find the vacated spot between those 2 defenders. That zone.
1st and goal from the 4. He keeps it. Nice little fake there to Dancy, and he burrows down to about the 1. Raylan Goforth with the stop.
Gabbers threw a shoe there too, man.
Yeah, Garbers has got to lace him back up real quick.
But I love his size, though. And he knows he's got the size to go in there and stick his nose in there. We've seen on the option play earlier, he's not afraid of the contact, man. He's got a little moxie about him.
Did you get the feeling? Did you get the feeling he liked the idea of maybe coming back?
You know what?
When we chatted,
I think so, and I think that's usually what you're going to find with anybody that is smart enough to come to Cal. You know, we talk about the decisions that people are making, business decisions. These are academic choices for most of the guys on this roster.
He's going to take a timeout here. They were a little late. It started with the lace problem. Some time came off the play clock, and we'll take the time with him. Justin Wilcox is one solid guy, and he's got a pro pedigree himself. You can learn a lot by staying an extra year. Wouldn't mind having Marshawn Lynch when you're at the 1 yard line, would you?
Oh, that would help.
Maybe driving this baby around Memorial Coliseum. Here in Berkeley, right on the fault line. So,
is that why they're shaking up there?
Hold on to yourself there, Spitzer. 2nd and goal. Christopher Brooks, the lone setback. Garbers goes under center.
Power, too tight formation here to the right side.
Brooks, he's in there. Touchdown. Little Powell football.
Yes,
Keith.
sir. They go double tight ends. Ain't no rocket science. Exactly what Coach Wilcox said he wanted to do. It's all about physical play. You two down set guys, 85 blocking down here on the edge, Timmy. This is straight power football. Well done.
Longhetto for the extra point to give the Bears a 10-7 lead. Again, for those of you wondering why on Championship Saturday these two are playing, a little bit of a COVID issue for a couple of weeks that Cal went through. A makeup game after dark, and we are so happy to have it for you. Put a period on 2021. Trojans from their 25. You see that eye black there. A couple of reasons for that we'll touch on with Jackson Dart. Outside to Washington. Well, he can get to that second level in a hurry. Bimmage with the tackle. A gain of 9.
Yeah, Bimmage, the outside linebacker, mounted him as he got to the edge, number 46. A little Twins look outside, and nice job of working the boundary, but Bimmage got over there eventually.
Barlow the setback on 2nd and 1. Nice pattern, and that's caught by Michael Jackson again. There's Keaton Slovis. Tough season for him. He was splitting snaps with Dart in the latter half of the season before suffering that lower leg injury against Arizona State. Unable to go for the 2nd consecutive week.
Late pressure off the edge, picked up nicely.
Oh, beautiful catch. He gave up his body to Jackson right there, but it's going to be ruled incomplete. He could not bring it in as completing the catch against that turf. It popped free.
Nice effort, though. You can see Jackson Dart. That's a dart right there, man, coming right at you. The ball is spinning. Nice rotation on it. Just got to bring that in there.
Well, you see that eye black. He's a hunter. Loves to hunt. And that's the eye he uses when shooting, so that's where he puts the eye black. And he also loves Anakin Skywalker. He's a Star Wars freak to go with it.
The Jedi Knight of the Galactic Republic.
Barlow carrying a few Bears with him. Gets 8.
Well, he's got a Jedi Order kind of a night going tonight.
Yeah, there you see that eye black.
Yeah, see it.
Scary.
Timeout.
The chosen
Cal,
one.
their second charge timeout of the half.
It'll be 3rd down and 2 after this timeout. Well, tomorrow on Fox.
Do you know who Anakin's father was in Star Wars?
You got me there, pal.
Shimmy Skywalker. Sure was.
I was
slave. It was conceived.
I gave up on that after Captain Kirk. You know, I just never quite got to the Star Wars thing. Even
trouble with tribbles and Charlie
even in the
Mudd,
70s.
huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
He still is my rocket man.
The
the
ball's
ball's on the ground. It could be a scoop and score. Taken off of the ground. And taking it the distance, Trey Pastor. Touchdown, California. 55 yards. That's the linebacker that is in for the injured Nate Ruchina, 27, the sophomore from Merced, California.
And he did it the old school way, put the hat on the ball, and after the scoop up, Taj Washington could only pray to catch the pastor. He had him in his hip pocket trying to make a play, man.
Well,
showing you speed and determination on the other end.
Well, Elijah Hicks popped it free. The big hit came from Elijah, and that's not a surprise. Number 3 with the hit. Number 27 with the scoop and score. That's the 4th forced fumble by Elijah Hicks. Number 3 right there. And this young man, Pastor, just picked it right up and took it home. We talked to Hicks, Spencer, yesterday too, and this is it for him. It's his last game for certain. He wants to go out with victory, and he is a true ball hawk, number 3, and he popped that thing free.
Well, he's prepared, he's disciplined. We talked to him about what he's learned from the game, and he listed a number of things that he's learned from, and he's ready for that foray into the National Football League. He's a baller.
Marlowe getting a conversation piece from Dante Williams. Tough one there for the TCU transfer. And Cal extends its lead to 10. They'll bring it out to the 25, and Spencer, you can tell that this game really does matter to these kids. People sometimes wonder, why would you be playing? You know, eligibility for college football games, few and far between. You want to play them.
Well, you got to be physical, and when you see guys flying around, you know that they're committed. And again, Hicks, wonderful job of creating an opportunity for Cal here in their home stadium. And there are a lot of academics out there, but there are a lot of physical ball players with ambitions to play at the next level, and we just saw it on that last sequence.
Trey Pastor will be talking about that one for some time. And you know, Ruchina, who's out, had become their leading tackler in recent weeks.
Nice.
Alapei wrapped up. Bimage with the penetration that time.
And that's how it worked, Tim. It feeds off of you. When you get guys creating turnovers and things of that nature, Marquez Bimage, number 46, that outside linebacker position, playing with exceptional leverage. Puts that hat right on him and brings him down.
And you saw that picture of Peter Sermon, the defensive coordinator. He said this could be the greatest audition. So is mindset. And he's getting the kind of leadership he wants from his playmakers on defense. Elijah Hicks at the top of that heap. Alapei stopped at the 28 by Hicks again. He's going to be the leading tackler again tonight, number 3. All of the soap opera conversation in and around Tinseltown about USC. Spencer, I've never seen a more together 4-7 group, both staff and players, than this Cal team.
Well, they are. They're smart, first of all, Tim, and their troubles or issues are totally different as we look at Peter Sermon, defensive coordinator. Their issues are different than most. You know, they've dealt with COVID at a higher level than most programs, but these guys are smart and resilient.
Yeah, there was some criticism of the local health department here. Kyle Ford on the receiving end of that catch. But listen, bottom line is he had way too much cushion to make that catch.
Off coverage on the perimeter and the boundary, just a nice little in cut. Lays down and just playing pitch and catch. Mindful of how much time you have on the clock. Dart moving him down the field.
Plenty of time to work with for Jackson Dart. Boy, oh, that's a drop.
You got to catch that.
Kyle Ford had that one between the 8 and the 1.
And Trey Pastor was there, you know, playing in that position. Got a hand in front of him. There are 3 defenders around him, but that ball was placed right between it. right between the wicket, hit him right in the hands. He should have caught that one. Excellent job against press coverage. He beats the press, passes it off, and they're playing a combination coverage there. So it looked like it was man, but they were passing it off underneath. Got to catch that one.
2nd and 10. Late blitz from Mimage, and it is caught. That is Jackson again. Boy, what a great job by Dart dealing with that delayed blitz from Marquez Bimage.
Well, to be able to deliver a dart under that pressure, you can see it working. It's just a 4-man rush, but the pressure did come from off the edge. Jackson completes the throw and the catch on the other end. Wonderful job of executing, understanding where the pressure's coming from, and delivering.
Malapei again to the 41.
And that didn't look like much, but that's like a 3 or 4 yard game.
Malapei will have the first down to the 30. Malapei picks up 5 there. Daniel Scott, the safety, team's leading tackler coming into tonight's game. 72 on the season.
Redshirt senior stuck his nose in there on that play, and you got an injured Cal Bear down there right now, Tim, limping around. And
yeah, it's Pastor. That was a 7-yard gain for Malapei. He is up now to 67 yards on the ground, well on his way to a 100-yard plus night. And a reminder coming up, the State Farm halftime show. Mike Hill will be back in our Los Angeles studios taking care of the proceedings. Big day for our big noon kickoff guys in the Big Ten Championship. This is the big play, the difference in this game right now.
Yeah, Hicks delivering it, popping it out there. Astor scooping it up and heading the opposite direction. Taj Washington in his hip pocket there, couldn't catch him on the big end, but I tell you, that's what you're trying to do in a game like this, where you know a team has got more athleticism on the offensive side of the ball. You need to generate points on the defensive side, and that's exactly what Justin Wilcox is getting from his team, and Peter Sturman, the defensive coordinator, from his unit.
USC from the 31-yard line. Look at those yards gained on first down. USC huge in that area, yet trailing by 10.
I tell you what, the 4.9 isn't bad. I mean, it looks like a huge disparity, but when you get 5, you've got a free down right there to put them in run conflict scenario, because if you can get 3rd and 2, that's what you want.
Dart.
Miscommunication.
Yeah. A zig and a zag there between Michael Jackson and Jackson Dart.
Yeah, he's getting his dart man coverage, but there's zone behind it. And so there's going to look like there's 3 shirts in close proximity. So there you see it. It's man to a certain point. But once he crosses the corner's face, he's going to pass it. And he's got to be careful about that, because eventually they're going to squat on that and then intercept it.
Malapei wrapped up at the 27-yard line. Clock ticking, under 40 seconds now. USC's got plenty of timeouts. They can use them whenever they like. A little surprised they haven't. Dart in some trouble now. Just has to unload it, but he was outside the tackle box. And it falls incomplete. I'm a little surprised they didn't take a timeout.
Alendejo was showing pressure there late, Tim, and got to the quarterback, and playing with integrity is the stop unit. They are really working the edges nicely.
They look a little rushed there, I thought.
Yeah, they were.
With all the timeouts they had available.
Yeah, they were rushed, and it didn't need to be.
Parker Lewis will try for 3 here to make it a 1-score game. Well, they're going to have all those timeouts to take into the intermission.
Yeah, you never leave them on the board.
43-yard attempt. Hooked it. Yeah. So we've seen a push, we've seen a hook, and the score remains 17-7. That was a horrible sequence for USC offensively. I just thought they were in a rush the entire last series there.
Excellent snap and sit down. He just, like you said, hooked it.
That's a big miss. The difference in 7 and 10 going into the break. Frustration for Dante Williams. You know, you figure all these guys, Spencer, are going to land on their feet. They seemingly always do, the work ethic being what it is. But so many unanswered questions at the conclusion of this game on the USC sidelines for players and coaches. Mike Hill will be joining you from our Los Angeles studios on the other side on what has been a remarkable day, Championship Saturday. One last game, and it's a fun one way after dark. Stay tuned for the State Farm halftime show. Indeed they do. Our team comparison, sponsored by Credible.com. And you see those numbers. Total yards with USC, they were averaging about 9 on first down. The turnover, the big story, that and the missed opportunities in the kicking game.
Well, they say big games are lost, not won.
Yeah.
The numbers bear it out.
Well, they lost 9 points in the kicking game because they were offsides on a field goal try for Cal. They got a second opportunity, got their 3, and then the 6 points that they missed. Justin Wilcox is getting what he wanted out of his team that has been up and down through the course of the year. And again, the COVID problem a little over a month ago that forced this game to be postponed until tonight came at a time after they had won 2 games, particularly the game against Oregon State where they may have played their best, and they just lost all momentum. Remigio will let that one go through the end zone.
And I just want to underscore, we opened the show talking about this being a significant game. It is, Timmy, because this is a long audition. Both these teams right now, for the coaches as well as the players, this is a significant matchup tonight.
It was a tough night for Garbers a week ago against UCLA. They were only down 3 at the break, but could not get anything done in the second half. In tonight's game, wow, look at that. Only 1 miss for 118 yards, and he really hasn't thrown what you'd call as a deep post or long seam route yet. He got one to Tungus for 31 yards. That's his longest completion.
Well, his orchestrator here and his coordinator is a West Coast guy, so everything is about passing control, intermediate routes primarily.
Brooks on first down tries to keep it alive as long as he can. Tuli Pilotu along with Raylan Goforth collaborate for the tackle. Gain of 1.
To me, Bill Musgrave, we talked about with him at great length about his style and what he likes to do. Again, he's a byproduct of what they did in San Francisco 49ers. He was a teammate of mine for a period of time, and he was exposed to that early on. He's much traveled in the National Football League. He's an excellent coach, to be sure. But no deep threats here. It's really about those intermediate, soft control passes.
Here comes a blitz up the middle, and it turns into a great run blitz as Goforth and Tui Pilotu were shooting the gap against that rush. And it's a loss of 3. Third down, and we'll call it 12.
Justin Wilcox offense have got to match this physical play. Would see him coming from that linebacker position. The center, after you snap that ball, it's very difficult to engage a guy who's about 40 pounds lighter than you are with any significance and effectiveness. Got to be smart and wise and identify them before the snap.
Remigio.
Late blitz here.
Yeah, safety valve. We got a flag down. It's going to be a false start. I think Remigio may have popped out of there a little quick.
Offense number 63. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Well, they get Rome, the left tackle. Second time he's been tagged tonight. You're talking about Musgrave. We have a little something in common. His last game was a bowl victory in our hometown, the Independence Bowl in Shreveport, Louisiana. Rich Brooks was his coach.
Didn't he have something unique go on that game?
Well, it was the coldest night in my hometown, maybe ever. First bowl trip for the Ducks in 25 years, and he snuck it in on Tulsa. I don't think he knew he was in the end zone. It was so cold. Dancy, the intended receiver, that's incomplete.
And that's unfortunate, too. Late pressure there from USC off the edge, and they had the screen dead to rights. I mean, that's what you want. You can't dial up a better time for a screen than when you've got pressure off the edges and man routes running on the outside. Everybody's back is turned towards you, but you got to execute it. You can see the inside games and deals. USC recognized it late on the inside with the movement, but not enough to make a difference.
Jamison Sheehan will punt it away. Michael Jackson is in deep safety.
They're going to have great field position here.
Yeah, they should. Oh, you got that one off the side of his foot. It'll take off the bounce for Jackson, and he gets a little momentum going into Cal Bear territory. Only a 32-yard punt and a 6-yard return. He almost whiffed on that one.
Well, one thing you can ill afford to do in a battle is give him a short field.
Yep. Let's watch what happened here. The drop may not have been where he wanted it, or maybe on the instep. Very uncommon for him. Usually an outstanding punter, averaging 43 yards per boot and a 64-yarder one time this season. Only half that, 32 yards on that boot. Malapei with a stretch play. Gets it to the 46-yard line, a gain of 4. Bimage with the stop. That's 75 rushing yards now for Vi Malapei.
Nice balance and combination in the run game and the throw game for USC. It's kind of what they want to accomplish. Make them defend the breadth and total breadth and width of the field. Late pressure off the edge.
Malapei bounces out. Yards after contact as Hearns made the stop. He got about 3 more yards after he was tripped up, so a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
Elijah Hicks was coming from his blitzing position off the edge there to kind of force the issue.
3rd and a long 2. Sermon wants a timeout, I think. He's calling for it. Or maybe he's just giving a sign of coverage. That's what he was doing. Here's Malapei. He's got a 1st down to the 38-yard line. Peter was over there jumping around. It looked as though he may have been calling timeout, but he was actually just shouting out. Flag comes down after he was on the ground, so we'll have to see. A gain of 3.
I'm not so sure I would try to get on around that outside with Cameron Good. Number 19 has done an excellent job of containing
Holding
the edge as Dante Williams
offense number
looks on.
57. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still 1st down.
That's on Dedich, the redshirt junior. There's a lot left on the table offensively for this USC team. They've moved the ball so well to only have 7 points to show for it.
You can see Justin right there holding. You can see him.
Had the jersey.
Yep, he's got the jersey, a handful of it.
Of Ethan Saunders, number 99. Barlow comes into the game in the backfield out of the shotgun for Jackson Dart. That one is caught by Washington. Gets some of it back. That was a gain of 7, so 2nd and 13.
Yeah, Hearns was back there coverage on that with a 5'10", 180-pound freshman. He's got great speed and agility, but when you're playing man coverage, man, if you've got an efficient quarterback that can throw on time and deliver with accuracy, it's really tough to be effective and defend.
Pressure.
Nice.
Beautiful work. Little extra hand coming through there.
Late penalty.
Late penalty flag down. Could be grounding. I think that may be the call. He was not outside the tackle box. And the pressure coming right up the gut.
I'll tell you, Good was involved in some of that too, man.
It was Good that was coming, Cameron Good that was coming from that linebacker position on the blitz.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the offense. Pass interference. Offense, that penalty's declined. Intentional grounding. Offense, lost it down at the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
Here's the interference. Boing.
It's just a headbutt right downfield, right?
Yeah. Little chicken fighting going on afterwards too. But no doubt about this though. He had to unload and he was inside. It's 3rd and 22. This could be.
I don't think he was drawn offside. That may have been Cal that time.
Offside with
Maybe
contact.
offside.
Defense number 49. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
And Darius Long playing at that left defensive end position. They'll move him around a little bit. You can see he got him over the nose tackle that particular spot. And they'll slide him because of just short numbers of moving him around inside. He just got a little bit antsy.
So 3rd and 17. Epps is coming to the game. 19. That pass to Cromenholt. Incomplete.
Elijah Hicks is such an excellent cover guy, man. Even when he's giving up 2 or 3 inches or more to a guy, he is such close proximity to the would-be receiver that he is just really something to contend with. And if you match that with any type of pressure, it really makes it tough for the quarterback to complete throws. Yeah, a lot of hand checking going on underneath, downfield by the tight end in particular. He's trying to get open, but again, number 3, Hicks, is right there in his pocket.
That kind of jousting, if it's allowed, favors a guy like Hicks because he is tough.
Well, the officials are going to see him. He's a smaller guy.
Uh-oh, that ball's on the ground. It deflected off of the receiver. Looks like Cal may have recovered. Remigio actually allowed that one to bounce, and then it ricocheted right here. Look at it bounce right off of his shoulder pad. Very fortunate that he had some help with the recovery. That's Eder, 48 on top of it. Tough plight for Todd Orlando with all the injuries that they've incurred through the course of the year.
He's one of the better ones in the business too, man. That's the sad thing about it.
His phone will ring this week.
No question about it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in a top 15 class of coordinators in terms of pay scale, and there's a reason for that. He's good at what he does.
By the way, I want to give credit to Warren Patu, reserve outside linebacker. We have dueling 48s. Daniel Eder is actually a long snapper. Patu is the guy that came up with that recovery off of the muffed punt. Christopher Brooks in the backfield. And he'll take the pitch and head towards the boundary. Stopped by Isaac Taylor Stewart, number 6, a gain of 8.
Are you okay with dueling numbers? Just curious.
Just, at some point, let me just remind my friends on Sundays that they don't have to deal with that, okay?
Just
I got a lot of friends that work tomorrow. One thing they don't have to worry about is dueling numbers. And I'll actually give him 7, so it's 2nd down and 3.
Pressure.
Quick out, and it is caught. Trayvon Clark, junior college transfer out of Victorville, California, with the catch.
Isaac Taylor Stewart was working on that edge out there on the right corner.
He's a dad, as Clark. Just had his 2nd child, he and his wife.
Yeah, sure did. Watch the coverage here. His press does a nice job of jamming the guy and then driving on him, using the sideline as his friend, trying to minimize it, but again, those positive yards. But he does a solid job over there at the corner. Responsible young man.
Harbers already has as many yards now as he had all of last week, up to 125, 12 out of 14.
Oh, kicking the blitz here.
Off the edge, he's in trouble. Down he goes, back of the 20.
Ooh, that's a
Tui
nice job of that.
Pelotu. -9 on that play from Tui Pelotu.
Timmy, remember the old corner cat blitz we talked about? It came not from the field, but from the short side that time. And that combination from pressure then, in your screen, you're going to see him come from that outside. Here it comes late. Whoop, there it is right there. Wonderful job on the previous play of playing exceptionally nice coverage was Isaac Taylor Stewart, showing you he can also be effective in blitzing as well.
5.5 sacks for Tui Pelotu this year. 2nd down and 19 for Garbers. Goes quickly to Remigio.
Good blocked up.
Nico high hurdles his way with a flag down at the 45. Nico.
This is going to be interesting.
He is feeling it, and another flag thrown now back behind the play. So 2 of them on the field. Gain of 14 on 2nd and 19. Here's the call.
Personal foul, tripping. Offense number 14. The penalties enforced half the distance to the goal. Replay 2nd down.
That's Monroe Young, the redshirt junior receiver out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, guilty of the tripping.
Well, he plays the Z position. He's out there. You see him, number 14, butts him up, but then he gets butts up himself and then sticks his leg up in the air and trips a guy. Yeah. When you get driven like, he's got broad shoulders, he's got nice symmetry to his body, physical as a receiver.
That did remind me of Percy Harvin right there.
He's got a lot of confidence too.
He does. Michael Jackson waiting. This is a much better punt, end over end, and a fair catch made. at the 35, a 40-yard boot. Spencer T.
Everybody ought to have one, Tim.
Yeah. No need for a bigger arm, huh?
That'll make you change your mind.
Yeah. Napoleon Dynamite is in the house. You know, our producer, Jake Jolivet, has been trying to do this all year, and he's failed miserably. Who am I? Love-hate relationship with coaches, changed landscape of college football. 2,600 plus players have used my service since 2020. After the play, Spencer will have to take a gander.
I'm going to have to look at that again.
Has to do something with one of these two teams. I'm thinking California. Barlow takes the swing pass. Gets it out to the 31.
Love-hate relationship.
Got anything going here? Love-hate?
Landscape.
All right. I'm guessing it's a recruiting service of some sort?
That's bizarre. It's not an agent, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
He may have finally stumped us. It took him 14 weeks, Jolivet. Little bubble screen. Ware Hudson, nothing doing. Well read again by Pastors, played well. Loss of a yard.
Mark Emmer?
Here's the swing pass. This was really well diagnosed by Pastor, who has the scoop and score. That's really the difference in this game right now. 3rd and 10.
Excellent protection.
Dart with too much time, and it's there. It is Taj Washington. First down, move the sticks for the Trojans.
Colin Gamble, number 21, playing in that nickel position. Listen, when you're playing a heavy amount of zone, man coverage, I'm telling you, you cannot do this. You've got to squat and read and drive with integrity, because if you start trying to jump in front of people, man, you're going to miss them. I mean, that's just too much. You have no help over the top behind you, no safeties, nothing.
Barlow stopped by Correa, Ricky Correa, number 91, gain of 2. All right, so here's the answer, Spencer.
Okay. Drum roll, please.
Mr. Transfer Portal.
Wait a minute. You didn't say it was an inanimate object?
No, exactly.
Oh,
it was a trick question.
Misleading.
Very misleading.
Mr. Portal.
All right, I'll be in touch with our coordinating producer tomorrow. Yeah.
Mr. Portal.
Yeah. Ware Hudson on the receiving end. Well, it is late night. You know, it is after dark. I just think Jolivet's too busy during the week. Yeah. 3rd down and 3 coming up. 5 of 10 on 3rd downs, USC. So trying to convert for the 6th time in 11 tries. Out of the shotgun. Barlow. And he has the first down.
That's a great run right there, Tim. But again, I'm always looking for positives on either side. We don't root for people. We just say what you see. But I'm sure Cameron Good did a wonderful job of turning that play inside. That's the only thing that he can do playing out as that defensive end or outside linebacker slot, as the case may be. I mean, it's just really a wonderful job of him playing effective.
You know, Cameron's dad, Oklahoma Sooner, out of Spring, Texas, Klein Collins High School.
Up north of Houston.
Yep. Here's Dart.
Nice
that
hand.
ball was tipped, deflected. Was it Bimage again?
I think
Marquez
that was Bimage. Got it.
made the play. Speaking of Texas, the Longhorns transfer.
Yep. Again, the 260-pound senior transfer, man, did a wonderful job of timing things up. Hey, if you can't get to the quarterback, we say it ad nauseum, get your hand up in the air, make a play. Affect the quarterback in some way. Help your team.
Malapaya comes back into the backfield out of the shotgun, and he'll tote it. He's got a lot of space. Great tackle in that space by Josh Drayden, number 20, 6th year redshirt senior, DeSoto, Texas, Bishop Dunhigh.
Number 19 swapping sides that time to fold it back in and make it happen, Tim. 20 playing with great leverage. Puts that hand across the thigh, which is exactly what you want to do.
Isaiah Young, 41, is down on the turf. They'll tend to him, and we'll be right back. I got to tell you, Spencer, given the circumstances tonight, I am impressed with the crowd that is here, particularly the student body. I mean, it still matters here on campus, and this area has been known through the years as a berries and cream crowd. We were here for a storming of the field that was single file in 2018 when they upset Chris Peterson's Washington team. Good showing tonight on the part of the contingent of Cal Bear fans. Washington on the receiving end of that pass, and it'll be a first down.
Colin Gamble trying to defend out there on an island, Timmy, and we see the big plays coming off coverage here. Collins did a wonderful job of, but not coming out of the break. He didn't get flat enough with it. As a result, got beat. That separation created on the edge out there, and Taj Washington did a number on him.
Ware Hudson, number 10 at the bottom of your screen. Here goes Malapaya again. Trying to bounce it outside, but side to side, really hard to get behind Oladejo. He's really played well tonight, this freshman. What a future he's got. Loss of 2.
As an inside linebacker, man, he really flows and is fluid. Watch him, number 43 again, read, and he knows where the play is going. He can play with leverage, scoot, slide, shuffle, and then when he feels like he can penetrate the front, he does it because he trusts his speed and understand what he's doing. That's good defensive play right there.
Second down and 12. Dart, bootleg action. And he got hammered at the 11-yard line. That was a big stick, and he will feel that one for a long time. Oladejo and Drayden collaborate, and he is slow getting up.
So 20 and 43, one of the guys involved in the last play, and Dart is still feeling a little bit. He's stung, man.
Yeah, big time. He's woozy. He will need help. So warm up, Miller Moss. Freshman from Los Angeles. Not one stat for him this year. High school senior, he made the 2020 Prep Star Dream Team. Lightning quick release, they say. He'll be forced in for Jackson Dart, who needs all kinds of help. That was, you know, you just knew that was like two trains on the same track. Something bad was going to happen when they met.
That's when you call on that Jedi power, man. You got to.
Yeah. Well, look how young this quarterback looks that's about to come in for him. And here's the hit.
Wow.
And
it just drove him into it.
Yeah, and it was a clean hit.
Yeah, it was a clean hit.
Absolutely clean.
That's where you got to be smart and understand. You know, you're not doing it in real time. You're looking at numbers, but if you got a guy playing leverage on you that way, got to be smart and protect yourself as a quarterback.
This young man looks like a preteen. That is some baby face for Moss. Yeah, his first opportunity at a statistic. Underneath to Malapaya, and he's got it down to the 3. But it'll be fourth down. 4th and 2 after the gain of 8. Big play here for the youngster. Pressed into duty. Miller's mom, Emily, was a professor at USC School of Architecture.
Let's see if he can build together a couple plays and get a score here.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, nice.
4th and 2. On the ground. Roman Hope. Does he have it to the 1? No, they're going to stop him. It's Cal's football.
Did they direct snap that?
Yeah, it was a direct snap, and he hit it. That was just a mix-up on the snap. And in motion, the tight end, Roman Hope, had it go off his thigh. And Bimage was there, among others, to get the stop at the 3-yard line.
Yeah.
Right here, you'll see it. Boom.
Yeah, it was supposed to be snapped
to him, I think.
To him, directly to him. And it's just like they short rifted it. Nealon there didn't ever get it back to him.
I thought he was in motion, but you're right, Spencer. That was a direct snap to him. Mistimed, and Mr. Sermon is preaching. Spencer, let's clean this up. upon further review, it appears that the center had a double take on the snap.
Yeah, Brett Nealon is really trying to snap the ball back to the quarterback, and I'll tell you how I know that. If you're looking for Vi, number 6, the running back, if he was going to be involved in a tight end coming across the formation, he would have been involved in the block. Yeah. You don't waste bodies that way.
Right.
That ball was intended to come back to the quarterback. It was just misexecution by the center, Brett Nealon.
Dancy is a setback, a lone setback back in the end zone, and he'll bounce it outside, and he gets free out to the 9. That's a healthy pickup on first down. Spencer, USC leads in total yards, 302 to 185. First down, 17-9, but are still down by 10.
Yep, numbers don't necessarily mean a lot when turnovers or missed field goals are part of the equation, Tim, in a game like this.
Many would say that have followed USC all year, this is all too typical.
That guy right there has had to deal with it under some very challenging situations, but this is a zero-sum sport.
Dancy remains the setback. 2nd and 3. Tui Pelotu gets a hold of him, bulldogs him out of bounds, a couple of yards shy of the first down.
Tui Pelotu was really violent, Tim. He came across that line of scrimmage and buried him in the backfield. He just looked like an outlier among that group. All of them are playing fast, but 49 is just moving a little bit faster than everybody else on that play.
Coming to the end of the third quarter, this should be the final play. 3rd and a long one coming up.
I'll let this go.
And that guy's probably done for the evening. He really got hammered, Jackson Dart. And we've now come to the end of the quarter. High stepping in Berkeley. The percussion section has seen some big-time plays from Remigio and others. Stay tuned. Just girls that have all the fun. It's the boys, too, you know.
Did you see my little tuck, the hair behind the ear?
I like that, yeah. Like that was very nice.
I learned that in high school.
Yeah. You know, they don't call me Toe Tap and Timmy B just because of my ad-libs. 3rd down and a yard to go as we open the fourth quarter for California. Christopher Brooks is the setback. Garber's out of the shotgun. Little out pattern to Brooks. And on the safety valve is stopped at the 12. That's an outstanding defensive play by Maoga. Kanai Maoga, 26. He's been a steadying force all season long for USC.
Nice sure tackle in there, too. And as you look at Dax in the tunnel there, man, he took a big shot.
You remember those tests, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Back in the old days, we used to have ammonia packets.
Jackson is back deep. And a fair catch is made. 44-yard boot. USC will come out with a very young Miller Moss to try to lead them back against California in the last game of what was Championship Saturday. Keaton Slovis unable to go for the 2nd straight week, and Jackson Dart got leveled. This tandem hit. Aladejo leading the way, but he had help. And that means it's Miller Moss's turn.
And Miller's a poor pocket passer, Tim. That's what he does when he came out of high school. That's what his calling card was, and the situation they're in demands those skill sets.
Bishop Alemany High School, Mission Hills, just outside LA. And he's got a great release. He completed 67% of his passes, 3,118 yards, 28 touchdowns in his junior year. Brandon Campbell is in the backfield with him, yet another freshman. Audition time continues for Lincoln Riley to survey from distance. At last report, he was seen somewhere in the state of North Carolina, I believe. 3rd and 13 coming up, 7-yard pickup, and it was Bimage making the tackle. So 3rd down and 3. I beg your pardon, 3rd and 3.
Coaches are looking for body language, how he comports himself, how he gathers information and then deals with pressure real time.
The wide receiver screen.
Yep.
Kyle Ford a first down. Very well executed. And a real quick release from Miller Moss.
Well, these are high percentage throws, really safe stuff that are extensions of your run game, essentially on the boundary, something that's not going to require too much for this young quarterback here. A little mesh just to keep everybody honest on the inside.
Well, he rifled that one out there. 16-yard gain to the 32 of California. Looking for and going underneath to Ford. He wanted to get that ball to Kromenhoek, but the coverage was just too good.
Yeah, he took a pump and took a shot downfield, or just a motion downfield, as you pointed out. His tight end was trying to make an opportunity happen downfield, but there's too much traffic around it.
Loss of 4, so second down and 14 coming up.
Loved his mechanics, though, in that situation, stepping up in the pressure, not letting it phase him.
Spencer, the old his breath smells like Similac, I think works. He's so young. Yeah.
Oh, good
nice
read.
move by Campbell. Brandon Campbell with authority inside the 25 to the 23.
And he let Daniel Scott know that he was coming on the other end, number 32. He just finished so strong on the back end of that. Trey Pastor was back there as well. Watch the inside zone read. He finds a nice little soft spot on the back end. And then Lion Jimmons did a wonderful job from his right guard position, blocking for him to find a little soft void backfield.
Correa had a shot, but he came up with nothing but air.
Nice.
Look at him go into that secondary to the second level very quickly. Brandon Campbell into Elijah Hicks after a gain all the way down to the 12-yard line, a gain of 11.
Yeah, you got to be able to finish here. Nice job inside working. Nelson did a wonderful job of turning his guy out. That right side, they really like that side of the run game against the right side against this Cal defensive front.
Well, so far, Peter Sirmon's defense has yielded a lot of yards, but they have really stiffened when inside the red zone. This is going to be against USC.
Ball start. Offense number 57. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Well, the last time California held USC to 7 or fewer points, October 30th, 1999. They won the game 17-7 and had to forfeit the game in every game of 99.
Dedich there, Timmy. You can see Dedich, number 57. Here's the rush. He's trying to skew. The ref is looking at him. He's saying, I saw you move. Umpire got him.
That's when the water broke, right?
Deliver the flag.
2nd and 13.
Nice job.
Moss caught. Kyle Ford. Well, he's been efficient tonight, Ford. That's Lamagia Hearns that was in coverage for California.
Lamagia Hearns needs to keep his head in the game. On the prior play, on a run to his side, he didn't finish it like he should have. This is a long audition that we talked about, Tim. You've got to be physical. You've got to finish. And the frustration he shows here is emblematic of a player that is frustrated. But again, that's not how you play this game.
5 catches for 71 yards for Ford. That's Ford in motion.
Pressure.
Moss is tackled. Ball is loose. It's loose.
It's
That's
out.
a live ball. It's picked up by Lamagia Hearns. It's still on the deck. And California will have it. Lamagia Hearns. Daniel Scott ripped it out of there. He came up with the big hit. And once again, Peter Sirmon's defense denies the men of Troy. Here comes the pressure, Spencer.
This is the Sermon on the Mount right here. The message is delivered. He scoops it up. And that's the commandment right there, man. Recover and live for another day. Timmy, watch Daniel Scott saunter up to the line of scrimmage here. It's a great job of deception. His eyes are not looking in at the linebacker. He's going to the quarterback, but he's looking at the guy across from him. But the last minute, he comes in and targets Moss. And a Rolling Stone couldn't afford to gather any moss on this one because he exposed the man. He's coming big time. A nice job of jarring that ball loose and getting everybody in that sideline jacked up. That's excellent execution in disguise.
And you know what, Spencer? A great job of not targeting there. He had a free shot. He really let up after he jarred the ball loose. Here's Garbers. That's complete to Trayvon Clark. It's a first down. And he's pushed out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Sermon's defense has just been dynamite. That's a 21-yard gain. Inside that red zone, they have denied. And again, USC's crippled. They're now down to their third quarterback that was available at the beginning of this game. But they got to look to this defense and how resilient they've been whenever they've been backed up.
I think Peter has learned a lot from guys like Greg Williams, who was at Tennessee the time when he was there.
Yep.
He's not as aggressive as Greg was, but when you get down that red area, which was noteworthy of you pointing out, he gets really aggressive.
Like a linebacker would, right? Underneath to Remigio. And he's down at the 36-yard line. Tui Pelotu with the hit after a 9-yard gain.
Tui Pelotu just missed a shot there, had an opportunity to get him for maybe 3 or 4 yards, and then because he wasn't able to get turned around, got an additional 4.
Boy, Garbers is having a perfect West Coast offense night. 17 of 20, 85%, 232 yards. He's been very efficient.
Oh,
Here he
running
is.
now. There's that
It is
foot
nothing but green grass. He'll take it out. Inside the 20 at the 16.
And there's that foot speed we talked about, Tim. He's really deceptive. And we asked Justin Wilcox, would you run him a little bit more? You know, he's an offensive mind, 20 years of offensive experience as a head coach, but he knows he's got strong defense. But this is where this kid, to me, is exceptional. His foot speed is off the charts for a guy his size.
Well, imagine if he does come back for another year. Brooks to the 14. And it was really a lot of fun running into his family. His mom, Angelique, his father, Grant. And they've been going back and forth between UCLA and Cal. They wanted to talk about all kinds of things going on in college football today, and there was plenty of that on Championship Saturday. Play fake. Garbers again on the loose. We'll take it to the 9 before stepping out of bounds. He may be out of breath.
Raylan Goforth there, the Rover, was chasing him, man. And I tell you, that speed is something else. Number 10 was on his high horse. He had to get there, everything he possibly had to get to Gabbers.
Got his graduate degree in business administration. Third down and 4. Brooks, the safety
Nice
valve,
miss.
great move. Down to the 5. It's a first and goal.
Raylan Goforth went for it and made a miss on that play. And you know, when you're playing, again, we've said this a number of times tonight, but when you're playing a heavy dose of man coverage, when you find yourself one-on-one matched up, you've got to square up and make that play.
They're going for the jugular here, Spencer. A touchdown here should put this one away.
Excellent job of running by Christopher Brooks.
A lot of intentionality in this drive. Gavin Reinwald is coming as an extra tight end, going heavy here. Brooks, pitch to the field. Got a convoy. Look out. Twisting and turning and down to the 2. Lichtenstein, 97 with the stop.
I think Brooks, if he had that play to run over again, he would probably stayed more on what we call in this case, an LA-bound track or a run. You know, you're going to a certain coast on left or right, whether it's New York or LA. You got to stay on that coast. It's a stretch play. Stretch it, stretch it, stretch it, stretch it, and that edge will present itself. When you start nosing and getting back upfield, you're running into trouble against this front.
Brooks honored his mom, Raquel, by changing his last name from Brown to Brooks back in the summer. This one's for you, Raquel.
Stretch it.
Yeah, trying to. There he is. Touchdown. His second tonight.
Same play, other direction, Timmy. You're not good. So that speed is so much up front. He finds a little void because eventually what's going to happen when you're flowing as fast as USC does up front, there will be some natural cutback lanes. But their best effort is to get to that edge as Dante looks on and sees that his defense just got gashed one more time. And I'll tell you, man, this Cal team looks intentional.
Oh, they can build on this. They can. That's exactly what they want to do. Were it not for some real difficult times that they could not control with COVID, this could have been a bowl team. The fumble, another scoop and kick, and touch. Cal taking it home with victory number 5 on the way tonight. Justin Wilcox has had an unbelievable career when you think about it. Many stops. He actually was at USC, you might recall, at one point. Went on to be an assistant coach in the National Football League as well, a native of Junction City, Oregon. Son of Pro Football Hall of Famer Dave Wilcox, former linebacker for the 49ers for 11 years. Dave was on those teams that used to lose to the Dallas Cowboys when Dick Nolan was coaching the 49ers, and Roger the Dodger became Captain America in the 70s.
There's a flag.
And a flag down on the return for Taj Washington. And Spencer, you think of those teams for the 49ers back then, they played at old Kezar Stadium, and then later
during return, holding
at Candlestick.
Number 26, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, USC.
He coached, in a way that allowed him to learn every aspect of the game, and he's a CEO in many ways, as you see why the flag was thrown. But I'm going to tell you, he understands at Cal what he's facing, and it's about selection and utilizing the transfer portal. We talked at length about that because he's got to be more specific when he's going after guys because of entry requirements to a school of this caliber.
No question, and again, that makes it more difficult for him. You may find 2 or 3 transfer type guys, but by virtue of the academic demands, it's going to be elite players. Guys of character and an intellect.
That's a nice move by Michael Jackson III, number 13. A gain of 11.
Justin's a wonderful guy, man. He's a smart guy. He's a thinker. I think he brought him to bowls in 2018, 2019. I think it's his 5th year. So he is really, in my opinion, done a fine job here given the circumstances.
He felt COVID in 21 as though it was 2020 again. And it brought a lot of criticism from within as well. That's Daniel Scott making the tackle on Malapaya. But they could turn this thing around in short order after a performance like this going into next season. I mean, the Pac-12 looks to be wide open. Nice spin move there by Miller Moss, keeping that baby alive. Nice move by number 7. Pickup of 10.
That's an aspect of his game I had seen before. I mean, I knew he was a pure passer, but this is nice. Little
spins, baby.
Spin move.
Spin, baby.
Set up. I like that. Little Jake leg on the back end.
From the 43.
Just a 4-man rush here.
Nice long crossing pattern that's incomplete. Hearns was there in coverage against Jackson.
Hearns got second life. I guess those last couple of plays he was involved in defensively. After a couple of lethargic plays, he's got his head back in the game and really playing and driving on the ball again. That's how you finish.
Spencer, I want to get your thoughts on where we're going to go with tomorrow's announcements with the college football playoff, now that this game appears to be salted away for California.
Well, whatever they do, Tim, and I'll finish this after this play if they snap it.
Incomplete.
Alabama and Georgia are going to be in the 1 and the 3 holes. That's what I know.
Yeah, I would agree.
And, you know, we'll see what happens in the matchup. I mean, listen, you can wind up getting a rematch. The national championship and the SEC championship again.
And let me say this. It was a rematch in the old BCS that ended that began the college football playoff and ended the BCS. Trust me, everyone else around the country does not want to see a rematch. I hate to tell the SEC that. It's where I'm from. It's where I live. But America and college football, it's not in the best interest of the sport for those two to meet again. Malapaya.
Let me give you a little pushback on that. Tell me what you think about this. So if this is a meritocracy, the game of football is supposed to be rise and fall on your own merits. If, in fact, Georgia and Alabama happen to be the best
they deserve it. Absolutely.
Well,
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Well, it's all about expansion, baby.
Hey, I'm an analyst. I say what I see. That's
I hear
all
you.
I'm doing.
I hear you. Engaging the rest of the country is what college football needs, and that was an outstanding defensive move to pressure Moss. No flag. Pass intended for Campbell. It goes incomplete. Yeah, they're the two best teams. I totally agree with that. And, yeah, they may play in all likelihood. But
maybe it's the Berkeley air is getting into you or something.
Now, everybody can stop throwing dirt on Cincinnati. They can stop throwing dirt on Cincinnati. They are in. Like it or not. Moss underneath to Campbell. Nice maneuver, just keeping that thing along. You know, Miller Moss is coming of age before our very eyes here. This young man's getting some quality time in a 16-yard gain.
Well, one thing that you can't control are the moments that you put in. You can control what you do and respond. And so preparation, obviously, a factor in this young man's ascent. Nice job of releasing.
Spencer, I was doing a little homework on, to your point, 1 and 3. So you keep those two teams away from each other in the semifinals. I don't believe there's a bylaw written in that says they have to be separated in the semifinals. I think there's an outside shot that the people on that committee would want those two teams to play before a final.
Okay. All right.
Something to think about.
Wow.
John Jackson on the receiving end, a gain of 4. And if you don't think that the committee can gerrymander it in such a manner to their benefit, think again.
That's pretty strong.
Not much for Brandon Campbell this time. And it'll be 4th down. Well, this is about the place on the field where Cal stiffens. Just what's supposed to be maybe the best defense we've seen in the modern era of college football.
And the thing that struck me is he made it look easy at times.
He
was so fluid.
Sure did. Here's Moss.
Nice.
On the run, almost picked off. Pastor again.
Yeah, trying to create a little bit too much. You know, back in the olden days, they said never throw across your body. If you're a pure passer, that's one thing. But this kid has shown some degree of athleticism. But this is a really tough throw right here.
Almost got the
official standing right there as well.
Almost got the umpire there.
Masters already got one today. Scooped it up and headed the other direction.
3rd and 9.
Becomes deep pressure.
Little curl, and it is caught. That's KD Nixon. KD TD. Boy, he was shot out of a cannon once he caught that curl.
It was like almost a wide tunnel screen. It wasn't a screen, but it had the same kind of feel and action to it. When you come from a trip formation, he's the inner of the 3, and then he comes a little pivot, and he's waiting. He's got a couple of linemen out in front of him. Andrew Voorhees is out there, got the escort. Nice little pivot play. A wonderful job of getting those big hogs out in front of you.
Alex Stedhouse comes in for the extra point this time, number 38. Nixon with his 3rd reception of the year, his first touchdown. Got to be careful with that mask. Oops. Oh, gosh. Oh, they're going with the onside.
Didn't go enough. It didn't go
far enough.
Didn't go 10 yards.
Didn't get there.
Nope.
So it will be Cal's football. It was recovered by Elijah Hicks. No one should be surprised by that. That guy's been everywhere. Well, you know, give a lot of credit to Dante Williams. Named the interim on the 13th after Clay Helton was fired. He coached their cornerbacks, was the passing game coordinator. Will always be USC's first African-American head coach, albeit as interim. Played defensive back at Pasadena City College. Syracuse, Idaho State, had stints there. Played a couple of years in arena ball for Rio Grande Valley, the Dorados, and the Arkansas Twisters.
He's a true professional.
Yeah, he sure is. Good guy.
Well respected here.
And again, we have no way of knowing what the future holds for any of those guys, but you know, Lincoln Riley and everyone he's bringing with him, you don't anticipate ever, once you're on an existing staff, of being retained. You can't. However, I think he'd be worth a look. Well, listen, if I were Lincoln.
The game has always been about recruiting, but it's always about that, but it's more so now than it ever has been.
Contacts in LA.
And I've always said, Tim, you know, players in this portal age that we're in, they don't leave institutions, they leave people.
Yep.
And if you've got good people, the chances of retaining them grows exponentially.
Yep.
And this guy right here is an elite recruiter. I mean, there's a reason why listen, we've seen this happen a couple of times, guys that weren't necessarily coordinators being named head coaches, and the reason why primarily they were great recruiters.
And let me also say, Spencer, because there's been so much written about it all week long, whether with Lincoln, what he left in Oklahoma, Brian Kelly, what he left in South Bend. Listen, coaches did not create the acrimony, nor did they create the signing date being December the 15th. That's what's precipitated all of this. Marcel Dancy gets it ahead for the first down. You can put a lot on the coaches, and I don't have a problem with that. I don't. If you want to go after coaches for the way they leave, that's fine. But look at this system that we have in play. All right? Something's got to be done. And we need a czar for college football, Spencer. We need someone to regulate what's transpiring, whether it's the transfer portal or this kind of material that forces the hands of athletic directors and fuels this insurgence of revenue that is so out of whack that coaches are being paid not to coach millions and millions of dollars for multiple years.
Well, absolutely, and that guy is just one of many that have to deal with 126 islands of excellence. Most of them believe academic excellence, and they are in many cases.
Yep.
But it's tough to manage that situation. I mean, there's a reason why the NFL is successful, because there's only 32 of them. If you've got 126, that, you know, there's an old passage that says, and in that day Israel had no king, and everyone did what was right in their own mind. That's the problem with college football. Everyone does what's right and in their own interest, and it's not good for the game.
Dancy. Gain of 1. Well, we'd be remiss if we didn't honor Tim Tessalone. Spencer, since I started doing this in 1985, I cannot remember being involved with a USC broadcast where I didn't turn to this man for all my storylines.
Oh, yeah.
He's a Hall of Famer in every sense of the word. And our congratulations to him on a wonderful career, and he will be missed by all of us that have followed intercollegiate athletics. And I'm sure he's happy to leave the transformation for those coming up underneath him, and he's got a wonderful staff. Katie, who works with him, has been tremendous with us all week long. Many thanks to everyone involved.
There he is.
There's Tim. Mike Bone, the athletic director, there with him. Looking dapper there with those gray locks of his. Well, what a day for Mike Bone, too. He's got his man, Lincoln Riley, and where he left, Cincinnati, is now going into the college football playoff. That's where Bone was prior to coming to USC. Garbers is going to salt this one away. Spencer, I want to thank Jake Jolivet and our crew. Dustin Dente was our director most of the year. Derek Manning is at the controls for us tonight. He had been working primarily with Max Leinwald and Aaron Goldsmith through the course of the bulk of the regular season. Our guys have just been outstanding. Everyone involved in college football at Fox, which with the help of Big Noon and Big Noon Kickoff and Big Noon Saturday has now become the most popular window in college football for the very first time.
How about that?
I'd say Michael Mulvihill did a marvelous job creating the notion that big-time games could be played earlier in the day. And as always, partner, tremendous being with my best friend every week.
Well, the honor's mine. It's always a pleasure, too. And we've got a great crew here, man. Such change in an unprecedented year, but one thing remains the same. Quality relationships is what makes it worthwhile.
Many, many thanks to Scott Alexander, our content coordinator, Brett Bender, our spotter. Just tremendous work on their part. They called a timeout to get Daniel Etter, who's normally a long snapper, into the game. I think they're going to let him. I think they're going to let him run it.
What?
Like, give Rudy a shot here.
No, he's going to protect.
He's in for safety. Long snapper comes in for safety.
That's great.
I want to congratulate the 4 teams that are making the college football playoff. Wish the best to our friends over at ESPN and ABC that will be taking the bowl season, and of course the college football playoff the rest of the way. But for us, a marvelous regular season for us, closing it out here after dark in the Pac-12. Spencer, a real pleasure to do it. Let's just do it one more time next year.
Love to mean it.
Or maybe beyond that. A lot of wood left to chop. And for the Trojans, they end at 4-8. The California Golden Bears go out 5-7. Congratulations to Justin Wilcox and the Bears. So for the final time in 2021 in college football, Tim Brando for our entire Fox Sports crew saying good night. The California Golden Bears on the fault line take down USC. Bye-bye, everybody. See you next year.